Hey y'all, so this is your girl Samantha here, and I just wanted to provide an update. I dug into some of Germarcus David, the man who was living in Los Angeles. I found some more information about him, some more background information. So first, I wanted to go to the heavy because they usually have like really great fast facts that you can go over just to get a background on this person, because I don't know if other people are like me, but I like to know more about the person themselves, like what would drive them to do such a thing. And then of course I want to know the motive. So we're just going to jump in with heavy.com and look at Germarcus David, father charged in deaths of 4 children and the grandmother. So the first thing we're saying here, let me start off saying Germarcus Davis is the Lancaster, California father who was arrested in the shooting deaths of his 4 children and their grandmother, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department said. David, age 29, is jailed as a suspect in the murder investigation conducted by LA homicide detectives. According to ABC News, the 5 victims are 51-year-old Erica England, 11-year-old Namaya, 7-year-old Germarcus Jr., and 2-year-old Caden and 1-year-old Noah. Wow, they're really close together in age, and they're very young, the last 2 babies. So in court on Tuesday, November 30th, 2021, David was formally charged with 5 counts of murder and 3 counts of assault on a child causing death, the outlet reported. Here's what you need to know. So number 1, David was a licensed security guard with an expired gun permit. The mother of the children found the victims dead in the home, and neighbors heard her screaming. So family members told KTLA the mother of the children and daughter of the adult victim found the victims dead in the Lancaster home. Neighbor Reginald Beltran told the news outlet she saw the mother soon after the shooting. We can hear her screaming over the phone, Beltran told KTLA. The only thing that was very clear, she was screaming, "My babies are dead, my babies are dead." She called 911 when she arrived at the home and found the bodies, ABC 7 News reported. So then they go on to say, the news outlet described the area as a suburban neighborhood. The Los Angeles Times reported that a single-story home on a quiet street in Lancaster became a scene of tragedy. So California State Database shows that Germarcus Lamar David of Lancaster was licensed as a security guard, like my ex, my younger kid's father. He's also licensed to carry a firearm. So this is like giving me a lot of, deja vu vibes. Like this could have been me and my children. So this is really hitting close to home because the situation is very similar to my own. I just got out of an abusive relationship, and I make it my duty to speak out to women about keeping themselves safe, what signs to look for when you're dealing with the narcissist, how to deal with the narcissist, so on and so forth. So let me continue reading about this story, and then I'll give my commentary at the end. So Germarcus had been licensed to carry an exposed firearm, but the license had been canceled, the database shows. And then they show the licensing information here. I guess, the receipts to show that the firearm carry was canceled. So the Bureau of Security and Investigative Services database shows that David's security guard license was active along with the baton permit. He had obtained the exposed firearm permit through a business and professional license. Davis had previously qualified for the permit using a 9mm handgun, a .44 caliber handgun, and a .38 caliber revolver. The most recent firearm permit expired August 31st, 2020, the database shows. Investigators have not said what type of gun was used in the murders. So I'm not really sure what that means, because they said he qualified for 3 permits, I think. I don't know if 1 permit works for 3 different guns, but only 1 has expired. So I don't know exactly what that means. Like, could he still have had his job and been armed? Because typically, to me, if you can't qualify or you lose the right to have your gun, you can't continue to do that job, from my knowledge, with my ex-fiance. So the next thing we put was David wrote a post to his daughter on Facebook for National Daughters Day, writing, "It's us forever, princess." David wrote a post to his daughter on National Daughters Day, September 26, 2021, about 14 months before investigators allege he killed the girl, her 3 younger brothers, and her grandmother, which is extremely sick. Very sick. So he put, "I love everything about you," he wrote, "from your little personality to your small, cute voice to the way you give me all the love and your strength at only 10. Nehemiah, you are organic in every way. You're loving, smart, beautiful, and so much more. God knew what he was doing when he placed you in my life. Life not perfect, and I'm not by any means. I do know this. I'm blessed, and I'm thankful that God chosen me to be your father. Is us forever, princess. His Facebook page was filled with religious themes, including messages of encouragement and posts about attacks from the devil. His cover photo is a picture of Jesus on the cross. I'm going to barf. But anyways, the devil wouldn't be attacking you so hard if there wasn't something valuable inside of you. He wrote in a post November 14, 2021, thieves don't break into empty houses. On October 28, 2021, he wrote a lengthy post on his ultimate life goal and his legacy. He said he wants to leave things better than I found them, calling this the most important pursuit in the world. He said he wanted to give back to his community, family, and others. David wrote that he wanted to spread love unconditionally and uplift the next generation. So, of course, I'm wondering, like, what happened? You know, how do you have all these lofty goals, but you end up killing all of your children and their grandmother? What happened? Like, we're going to get more into the details as we continue, because I'm going to explain later what I think happened. Another thing I say, this is a red flag. Like, when you see guys, like, I'm sorry. I know this is going to piss a lot of people off, especially black people, but I just do not buy into Christianity anymore. I just don't. I grew up in the church with my grandmother, just like a lot of other black children did. And we were, holy Protestants, we were extremely holy. Like, we wore skirts, we didn't wear pants, we couldn't listen to rap, we couldn't curse, none of that, and wear makeup, nothing. And it was very restrictive and a bit oppressive. And I don't even mind, like, not wearing the pants and all that. But it was just like the things in the Bible didn't make a lot of sense to me. I felt like it was very oppressive of women, like telling us to submit to our husbands. And, you're just kind of like the assistant to your husband or something. And I feel like guys, black males, use the Bible because they pick and choose what they want. They know what black women tend to be very religious oriented. Like, we're typically very Christian identified. And we identify ourselves as Christians where we feel like we have to be Christians. It's like the law in the black community to be a Christian. So it's like, I remember when I first started telling people that I don't buy into Christianity anymore. I know that my lineage is Hebrew Israelites based on my own research from the Bible and books I've read, like actually doing real research, because a lot of Christians don't even read the Bible. So they really don't even know what's in it. But anyways, if they did, they wouldn't be doing the stuff they're doing, because they would see that does not match up with what the Bible actually says. So when I started talking like that, people were like, oh, so you're an atheist or you don't believe in God. Like, it was very black and white to them. Like, you're either a Christian or you're this atheist. And it's like, no, I still believe in God. And I knew my whole life I was more spiritual. But the Christianity stuff, that was created by white man to control you. And they're still controlling you with it. And your husband, who wants to be a white man, is using it to control you with it as well. So it's deeper, and it's like, it's on another level that a lot of people are not ready to go to. Most people are sheep, and they just flail about, blindly, and let people just lead them wherever, like they said, what, Jesus was a shepherd, I think, or Moses or one of those guys, but it's just like, they're just sheep. And so if you dare to step out of that group and think for yourself and say, hey, this doesn't make sense, or, I don't agree with this, then it's like, oh, we have to shun you and call you names and make you feel bad for your choices. And I'm like, that's not a Christian, like, you should love everyone, right? So whatever. But, I feel like black males definitely gravitate towards religion, and it pisses me off. It really pisses me off when people use religion because they don't even live by it. As you can see with this guy, Germarcus David, and his name is so interesting because his last name is David, and that has ties to religion and Christianity and the Bible. But he was quoting scripture every 2 seconds. Every other post was a scripture or something about God and Jesus, which I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't believe in Jesus. I think that was a made up construct, based off of the Egyptian deities, because they wanted, white people wanted you to have something to worship that was white. So they made up Jesus, because J did not even exist back in those days. It was, his name would have been Joshua, I think, or something else. So, just even people talking about Jesus, it makes me want to throw up, because God said do not worship anyone else but him. So people constantly saying Jesus this, Jesus that. You're worshiping Jesus, you're having idolatry, and that's what God doesn't want. Also, which again shows that you are not even a good Christian. You're acting like you're just wonderful Christian, and you're already breaking like what God doesn't want you to do. His covenants, his laws, like you're already breaking that just by talking about Jesus this, Jesus that, because that's what the white man gave you. See, I don't want to get deep, guys. I don't want to get that deep, but it's like it really pisses me off when I see people, Jesus this, Jesus that, but I praise Jesus. And then you turn around and shoot all 4 of your children and the grandmother. So how Christian like were you really? And then the second issue I have is when people talk about how married, you got to get yourself a husband. You got to get yourself a husband. Marriage is not for everybody. Marriage is not for everybody. Stop pressuring black women to marry these guys, because if you don't have a pot to piss in, you're basically just marrying another mouth to feed. You're basically bringing on more drama, because the wife actually filed for divorce. And I was going to get into this later, but she actually filed for divorce, I think twice. She did it last year. It was dismissed. And see, this is what I don't like about marriage. It's hard to get out of it. It's like you're tethered to this person who ain't contributing. All his posts are talking about, building together. And, 50-50 this. And it gives the vibes of 50-50. He never actually said it. But it gives the vibes that he's one of those guys that wants you to go 50-50 with him on things. He gave, even in this post when he was talking about his daughter, he's like, I'm not perfect, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's an understatement. Obviously you're not perfect. But the fact that you keep saying it, it's kind of like you're putting it out in the universe. So it just gives this vibe that he knew he was a hot mess. And he's making excuses for himself to like try to, smooth it over for the mess that he is. He's talking about the devil. He's talking about this. He's talking about that. It's like just all this mythology, and it's crazy to me because people say, oh, you think you're a Hebrew Israelite and blah, blah, blah. And, you're believing in this, but that's fake. And so, and it's just like, so when have you seen Jesus's bones? Because I haven't seen them. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the stuff you believe in is make-believe as well. Like, where's your proof? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to say my stuff is make-believe, how real is your stuff? How can you prove that your stuff is more real than what I believe in? So please go sit down. It's like I actually have books and full-on research from the books that tie back to the Bible as a source. What do these Christians have? So let me continue. Yeah, this guy, he's sickening. He's sickening to me, because it's like, this is why I hate Facebook and social media, because people will tell you whatever they want you to hear. And you got women on here eating it up because they're single and they want a man and they wish they had a husband. So they're sitting there just, pumping up his head. So he knows what to say, and he's coming here to get his ego fed, because clearly if your wife is filing for divorce behind the scenes, she ain't happy with you. So you're coming onto Facebook to get your ego stroked by these women, and you're saying what you think they want to hear, because the black women are so Christian identified. So he's talking about like all the stuff he wants to do. He wants to uplift the next generation. And he's like, that is what I want my children to grow up seeing, he wrote. The full post said, my ultimate life goal is to leave people, places, things, circumstances, and the world better than I found them, which you did not do that goal. You ultimately failed. To me, that is the most important pursuit in this world. I don't want to be remembered for my net worth, how many cars I had, or the amount of messy controversy I could cause. Because you don't have any cars, because you don't have any money, and all you did was create messy controversy. And that's why he put that in there, because he knows that's what he's creating, and he's trying to tell you, just forget about all the crazy stuff I've done. No, we're not going to forget it. We're going to learn from this. We're going to remember it, and we're going to learn from it, and we're going to remember the victims, your children, and the grandmother that lost their lives, as well as your estranged wife who was trying to leave you, and what she has to endure now as a mother, and a daughter. So it says, I want to be remembered for the way I actively participated in being a good steward of the life I've been blessed with by sharing those blessings with others. How you sharing them blessings with others? Like, what blessings you share with others? I would love to know. I want to be the kind of human who seeks to gain as much as possible so that I can give more back to my community, my family, and to those less fortunate than me. Money, fame, and fortune do not follow me when I transition from this world. Therefore, they will never be more important than my impact on the hearts and minds of those around me. Although I have zero doubt that money, fame, and fortune will be something I achieve. What? You clearly want something. Now you're another Derek Jackson talking all this guru crap. It's just, I could just see right through this. And I'm like, anybody that's still eating this shit up, like, you deserve to be licked. So my words, deeds, the love I spread unconditionally, and my pursuit of being a good human being, a human above and beyond, everything will echo in this world long after I leave it through the deeds of those who were affected by me. The platform I am gaining will be large enough for others to stand on. What platform is he gaining? And that's what I mean. He's on social media trying to get a platform going so people can follow him. He wanted people to follow him, and in real life, he was a nobody. And he put, I will be the giant whose shoulders are strong enough to help uplift the next generation of conscious warriors, both like me and unlike me. The voice I have will serve the purpose of amplifying other voices and speaking truths, especially the hard ones. The love I give will overflow from one heart to the next as a gift that keeps giving. I will be one of the reasons that others believe in the true goodness of this world. God knows we have enough reasons not to believe in it, which makes this mission much more vital. He's like a walking contradiction. That is what I want my legacy to be. That is what I want my children to grow up seeing. That is what inspires me to do what I do, to fight for what I want, to speak up the way I do, to love through all the pain I've experienced in my life. I know I will not change this world alone, but I can do my part. Stay blessed. He should have wrote books. Be like a Derek Jackson and write some books. Become an author. Be like Polite and write your 99 books and get some, get your voice out there because you clearly want attention. But him pretending, I feel like that would have gave him maybe some income and that could have helped him out. Maybe he wouldn't have felt so worthless and felt like the only thing he could do was kill his own children so he wouldn't have to pay child support. But let me continue. So David had little public information listed above himself on his Facebook page. Exactly. It's like he's essentially a ghost. He's creating this persona, online persona of this person that he's pretending that he is, and this person is a person of perfection. Like, no black male, there's not many that are going to be living by these standards. We've seen it alone this year, all these black males killing their moms, killing their wives, killing their children. They seem to really be struggling mentally. They're not strong enough. So there's no way you're living this life that you're putting on Facebook. It's a load of crap. I haven't met a black male yet that's actually living the life that they put on Facebook or on any social media. So David had little public information listed about himself on his Facebook page. Several people who had been listed on his page as relatives were removed in the day after the story became public. One Facebook user questioned a man who had been listed as David's brother, asking whether he had anything to say about the shooting. That comment was later deleted. The shooting death shocked the neighborhood, ABC 7 News reported. A woman who lives nearby described the victims as a beautiful family. This is not something that you would think would happen right in your neighborhood. They're a beautiful family, she told ABC 7 News. This is sad. It's insane. Walkie Jones told the Los Angeles Times he was a child care provider for the family for several years. He said he would drop off the older children at elementary school and take the younger ones to daycare. He told the Times he cared for the children as if they were his own. He learned they died when he came to pick them up Monday morning. Oh my gosh. That is rough. Someone told me, or I asked which house where the shooting was, and then I don't remember anything after that, Jones told the Times by phone. They were just good kids. The children called him Coach, he said. Nemaya was a sweet girl, and every morning this mom would tell her, say good morning to Coach, Jones told the Times. He said Nemaya looked after her brother and kept him safe in school. Oh. Rest in peace to Nemaya and her sibling. This is heartbreaking. This is disgusting. I just hate that children get caught up in this stuff. I really do. I feel like, just because you're an adult and you're not getting along with the other parent, you should definitely try to do everything you can to shield the children from the drama, because they have nothing to do with that. It's not their problem. They just have nothing to do with that. So she was always protecting her brother, making sure he was safe at school. Jones told the newspaper, it's just unbelievable. I can't believe they're gone. Number 3, you wouldn't think much of him, said a man visiting the neighborhood. A man who was staying in the neighborhood told the Los Angeles Times he would sometimes see a man sitting on the front porch of the house where the deadly shooting occurred. Marco Estrada, why are you talking to a guy that just visits the neighborhood? Like, where are the neighbors who actually live there? But anyway, so Marco Estrada, age 49, who was staying with his niece 5 houses away, told the Times he would see the man while he was walking his dog in the neighborhood. He seemed nice, quiet. You wouldn't think much of him, Estrada told the newspaper. Waukee Jones, who cared for the children for years, told the Times he did not know David personally. He said the father would sometimes care for the children and that he had recently promised to take the children fishing. The plans fell through, he said. He told the newspaper he was in shock over the shooting. So it's interesting because it's like no one seems to know who Germarcus David is. He doesn't have much about his background on his page, on his Facebook page. All he's doing is talking out of his ass and quoting, saying Jesus is God, that, etc. And but then, even as they're talking to all these different people, it's like no one really has met him or really talked to him. Like no one really knows him. Just having a conversation. Like, how do you have the one guy who watches the children all the time and he really doesn't have much to say about them? He's like, I didn't know him personally. And even if you didn't know him personally, but, did you talk to him? Did he seem nice when you talked to him? Then he's saying David had promised to take the kids fishing. Of course the plans fell through because that's what he does. It's like he's creating the dad he wants to be. He's creating the man he wants to be on Facebook. Because in real life, that's not who he is. Real fathers and real husbands and real men, they're doing real things in real life. They don't have time to write entire novels on Facebook because they're too busy doing real things in real life. So let me continue. To do this to the kids is cowardly. It's just unbelievable, he told the newspaper. And this is still Waukee Jones, the caregiver, talking. So Sheriff's Lieutenant Brandon Dean told ABC 7 News he had no knowledge of previous incidents of domestic violence at the home. I feel like this kind of just came out of nowhere. I feel like there had to be some DV going on. And I put this under Paris Milan's channel and my comment disappeared. And I'm like, whatever, because I put marriage is not a badge of honor, which is not in the black community unless you're marrying out. So there's been articles that tell black women, you're literally losing about $26,000 a year being married to a black male. They don't usually have income. If they do have income, it's significantly lower than men of other races. And so it's just not a badge of honor. And then, now you're tethered to this person, ball and chain. When you're trying to get away from him, these are the things that happen. His wife was trying to get away. She was trying to get out of the situation. And another thing that's really, because I was married once. I'm divorced. I had a husband, so I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. But I feel like another thing is when you're married, your spouse has a lot of power. They could do a lot of damage to you, so you have to think about that. I mean, it's almost as though you guys are one person. So I don't want to really give examples, but I know some people who recently they were talking divorce. Some people I know were talking about divorce. And the husband had been talking to some friends and he came back and told the woman I know that he could get alimony. He could go for alimony because he doesn't have a job and she does. And she's always been the only one working. And he was talking about, he could take her to court for alimony. This is what these grown men are on now. This is what these black degenerate males are on. So these are things you need to look out for when you're talking about telling women to get married first before they have children. Tell them to vet this guy, make sure he has a job and that he's going to keep a job. Because nowadays, these guys will have a job when you meet them and they'll put on this persona. And then once you marry them, everybody switches up. It never fails. The whole shebang, everything switches up on you. They're now violent. They're now not having a job anymore. They're now drinking when they used to not drink. They're smoking when they used to not smoke. Their past of DV is coming out. Their past of doing drugs is coming out. Yeah, shit really hits the fan once you put that ring on, because now they know I have you locked down. I can let it all hang out, all my crazy. And now you have to try to petition to the court and get them to agree just to leave this crazy person. No, I don't. That's not for everybody. That's not for everybody. It ain't for me. Because like I said, I've already done that. And in my situation, it was nowhere near as bad. Thank goodness. I probably should have still been married, but it just, it just didn't go. It didn't work. So that's what that is. But like with my last relationship with my ex-fiance, I didn't marry him because I saw the red flags. I was older and I saw the red flags and I just knew this is not Somebody that I want to tie myself to. And if people say, well, why do you have kids with him? Because I wanted to. I wanted to have children. It's like I wanted to have kids. Just like, why are you doing any of the stuff you're doing in your life? Why do you not have kids, So it's like, as long as you can take care of them and you're a good parent, you're minding your damn business. That's what I did. I had more children because I wanted more children. Did I want to marry him? No, I did not. When I didn't figure that out until I already started having kids. So, to each his own. But I can't run around acting like marriage is the best thing since sliced bread, because I've seen too many bad stories. I haven't seen enough good stories to even balance it out, let alone outweigh the bad. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I see a lot of this, what this guy did to his wife and their children and her mother. I see a lot of unemployed husbands sitting on the couch and the black women going to work every day, paying for the mortgage and all the bills. I see a lot of cheating. I see a lot of beating. I see, this is what I've seen my whole life in the black community. So like I said, unless you're willing to go outside of marriage, and I cannot speak for outside of marriage because I've never done it. My family doesn't do it. Everybody marries black. So to me, the only thing that would be giving you a chance of success is going away from black males, not marrying black males. And to do that, because my mom, she's been married 3 times. My biological father, abusive. My stepdad, abusive. Her 3rd husband, broke. No job. Never had a job. He has never had a job like 20 years. And I really don't want to call names out, but that's what I grew up seeing. That's my experience. And her story is not the only one. Like my aunts, everybody, uncles, everybody, the same story all throughout. So I don't know where these mythical good black men are. I know all through the 90s, black women were conscious and they couldn't find a good man because, they were talking about black men because black women overwhelmingly only date black men. They don't date other races. So they were talking about black men. They couldn't find a quote unquote good man. Where is he at now? I mean, they're even worse now. I keep reading stories of black boys killing their moms, 18 years old, 20 some years old, whatever. And it's like, you don't even get a chance to get married because you're already in prison for killing your mother, your own mom who gave you life. Can't get any worse than that. Because if you kill your mom, you definitely have the capability of killing your wife and your kids. You kill the woman who gave you life, you definitely will kill other people, period. Because that's the thing I learned from Cynthia G. Black males have a disdain for their children. They do not care about their kids. They don't care about them like that. Some might, but we saw how this guy got down. He's on social media acting like he is father of the effing year. But then you can gun down your 4 children? 4 children. And one of them was like 1. One was 2 years old. One was 7. And the oldest girl, I think, was like 11. You just can't. I don't even know. I'm completely speechless. Like, I don't even know what to say. I don't understand how you can be a deadbeat parent. I don't understand how you can kill your own children. Like, these are things I seriously do not understand. I don't understand how you can kill your mom or someone else's mom. Your wife's mother. I mean, I was raised to respect my elders, but is that gone? Was I the last generation that was raised to respect elders? The millennials? And I'm an older millennial. So I'm almost a Gen Xer. That's how old I am. And I feel like I'm an 80s kid and we were the last great generation. Like, I feel like everybody now is just whatever, anything goes. Wild Wild West of black community it's like it can't get any worse. We are now, I mean, some things just be off limits. You killing Big Mama? You're killing your own mom? Like, you didn't hear about black children killing their parents. That was shit white people did. But now you got black kids thinking they're white. And they're doing the same shit the white kids are doing. Go sit yourself down. You're not white. You're not white. You're never going to be white. You're not going to get the privileges of whiteness. You can't say you were having insanity or whatever and think that's going to get you up. No, you can't. You got this black guy, Daryl Brooks, driving through a crowds of people. It's just like we've lost our minds. Black people have lost their minds. And I've read, story articles about black people leaving the church behind. I don't think that really, I think that might play some kind of a role, but I don't think it helps. Usually whenever I see these stories, people are tied to the church. And they still can go out and do these crazy things. It's just, it's insane to me. It's insane. So let me continue. So no family should endure this type of tragedy, especially when the alleged perpetrator was responsible for their protection, Gascon said. Our office has reached out to the family to ensure they have all the services and support they need during this difficult time. Number 4, David turned himself in at the Lancaster station of the LA County Sheriff Office within an hour of the shooting. He was detained, arrested, booked into Twin Towers Correctional Facility in Los Angeles at 1:45 p.m. on November 29, 2021. Then they have his booking information, and a motive has not yet been determined. All 5 victims were found dead at the scene with gunshot wounds to their upper torsos. This is so sad. So sad. Oh my God, I just, as a mom of 5, I cannot even like wrap my head around this insanity. So they said LASD said they were called to the 3500 block of Garnet Lane in Lancaster at about 10:30 p.m. Sunday, November 28, 2021, after receiving a rescue responding call. When deputies arrived, they found a female black adult suffering from gunshot wounds to the upper torso. The deputies also located a female juvenile and 3 male juveniles, all under the age of 12 years old, suffering from gunshot wounds to the upper torso. All 5 victims were pronounced dead at the scene by responding paramedics, the LASD said. Oh my gosh, it's just so, ugh. So I found his Facebook page. I wanted to do some digging. So on November 16th, he put, feeling thoughtful. And he writes like these novels. Like, I don't even want to read it because it's such a lie. Just somebody wrote a comment and the comment is gone. Oh, Lord. I guess people were deleting his stuff because they were kissing his butt. And now they're like, he's crazy. So God's never been interested in you being, quote unquote, enough. Moses didn't think he was good enough. People didn't think David was strong enough. Maybe today you're in the, quote unquote, not enough mindset. Just know that God loves you when you feel unloved for. God loves to show up in the not enough moments to teach us that he is more than enough. Look to God and stay as strong as you can. And it's funny because a lot of people are like giving angry emoji face because I guess this is after the killings happened. But that was actually, looks like his last post that was public that he posted before he murdered his 4 children and his mother-in-law. November 14th, he put, the devil wouldn't be attacking you so hard if there wasn't something valuable inside of you. Thieves don't break into empty houses. And two weeks ago, someone put fire, such as kissing butt. Yeah. Anyway, so the next thing he wrote was, never regret being a good person to the wrong people. Your behavior says everything about you, and their behavior says enough. Hold on. I don't know if it keeps going. Their behavior says enough. I think it says that they say enough about them or something along those lines. But no, it just won't go up. I'm trying to scroll up and it won't do it. November 3rd, anything you lose by being honest, you never really had it to begin with. He's talking about his marriage, probably. This is when he's talking about his ultimate goal is to lead people, places, things, person in the world better than I found them, which he did not do. He's talking about money and fame, which he clearly wants. I don't know why he put 2 pictures of himself, which is weird. This person put why. That was 11 hours ago. She has something with Kobe Bryant. No, girl. He did not care about black women. Did not care about black women at all. Okay. So 2 other people said a very worthy cause. Someone else put go Germarcus, go Germarcus. So that's what he wants. He wants that ego stroked. He wants a following. He wants people to think he's this great being that he's not. So somebody didn't wake up today, but you did. That's enough reason to stop complaining about. It was just scrolling up and now it's not. Hold on a second. Never let your troubles blind you from your... Okay. Stop complaining. And that's enough to be thankful for. Never let your troubles blind you from your daily blessings. That was posted October 15th. So you put this is September 17th. The same thing you're complaining about, people has taken that and won with it. Stay solid and keep pushing no matter what your circumstances. Oh, Lordy, this thing. I can never scroll up. Looking like, okay. See, he's always like kind of trying to give himself leeway to be a bum. So that's what I'm reading into this. Is like, I'm a bum, work with me, I'm a work in progress. No one has time for that when you're a whole husband with 4 kids. So here is September 15th. Be disciplined about what you respond and react to. Not everything or everyone deserves your time, energy, and attention. Stay in your light. Which you clearly did not do on November 29th. September 10th, it says, be with people who want more for you, not more from you. This sounds exactly like my ex, who was a narcissist. They want you to always be, what do you call it, like giving them these accolades and this round of applause and these pats on the back. And they want all that. They don't want to have to show up and be what a true man is. So they're always saying these stupid things like this, like be with people who want more for you, not more from you. I'm like, this is the speak life into me guy that you want to run away from. August 16th, I know I cannot move forward with my life without taking responsibility for the actions and the lack of actions that I did to cause. Jeez Louise. Facebook is tripping. My present situation. In other words, I was the author and creator or my own pain. That comment disappeared. So I know someone's coming on here and deleting stuff. August 11th of this year, my first blessing of the day is God woke me up. Someone put amen 15 weeks ago. It's a woman, stroking that ego. August 2nd, trusting God plus obeying God equals promotion. Someone put 100. It's Rochelle Smith. The other one saying the obeying part is what I'm working on. And she said, you're not alone, love. We all are. Just 2 black male identified females on here, looks like. Co-signing with whatever he's talking about. July 25th. To attract better, you have to become better. You can't do the same things and expect change. Transform your mindset. Upgrade your habits. Think positive. Be hopeful and consistent with your evolution. It all starts with you and how you feel about yourself. Nothing he says aligns with what we've seen. Actions speak louder than words. So the next one says July 12th. Again, him trying to apologize for being mediocre. Don't judge yourself by your past. You don't live there anymore. And no, you really shouldn't. But his future isn't very bright either. June 30th. Healing yourself can be offensive to people who benefited from your brokenness. Okay, I doubt that. Unless healing yourself means you're not providing anymore. You're just going into this sunken place of talking about God and Jesus all day and doing nothing of substance for your family. June 28th. Give it to God and go to sleep. Okay. June 25th, be the reason someone feels welcome, seen, heard, valued, loved, and supported. It's weird because I don't see his wife on any of these posts. June 22nd, being submissive to your husband doesn't mean you're his slave. It means you give him the respect to lead. I don't know why anybody would want these random guys leading them. It's like you can't even lead yourself. You're not leading me off a cliff. June 8th, I'm telling you this because I wish someone had told me this. When things keep repeating in your life that are causing you pain, it's because there's a lesson to be learned that you're not yet learning. Remember, things happen for you, not to you, and the pain will leave you once it's done teaching you. Okay, he was having an epiphany moment, which this is just, I mean, it's like it's hard reading this knowing what he's done. I mean, when you talk about the lies they tell, the contradictions, he was a walking oxymoron and a moron. I mean, you're saying he's giving a premonition of what's to come, of what he's about to do. So it's really eerie reading these posts. And I tell people, you actually could find out more about people from online than actually knowing them in person. People write their deepest, darkest thoughts online because no one knows them. You don't really know them in real life. So they feel like they can be open with you. And then you get these kind of situations that happen and their Facebooks are open and people can really delve into their mind. And that's why authorities always go to social media to find out more about, killers and so on and so forth. So May 29th, this says the best part about the past is it shows you what not to bring into your future. It's probably talking about his wife. May 6th was where he put the Jesus on the cross on his cover photo. You put this January 10th. A good thought for today. Always pray to have eyes to see the best in people. A heart that forgives the worst in people. A mind. One second. A mind that forgets the bad and a soul that never loses faith in God. Well, he clearly did not achieve that. So this was written around the time that it said his wife filed for divorce the first time. And it says, if you're struggling today, remember this. You have survived everything you've gone through up to this point. The best day of your life is still yet to come. There are still people you haven't met and things you haven't experienced. You can do this. So here I feel like he's kind of trying to, I guess you call it like uplift himself or give himself this pep talk as he's kind of bearing down into the whole of looking at divorce. So the next post, it says November 4th, 2020. Jesus is our president. Don't put your faith in people. Jesus is the answer to every circumstance. So just relaxes and enjoy. Hold on a second. Oh, I hate this thing. I struggle. And enjoy him and focus on him at all times. And that's what I mean by that idolatry stuff. It's like, okay. Then also for November 4th, he put, sometimes you just need to cancel your subscription to people's issues. October 31st, 2020, life doesn't allow for us to go back and fix what we have done wrong in the past, but it does allow for us to live each day better than, hold on a second, our last. Okay. This is October 9, 2020. Remember that life's greatest lessons are usually learned at the worst times and from the worst mistakes. The mistakes you made. Hold on a second. Mistakes you made in life are not what define your character. The way you take responsibility for them do. When you make a mistake, admit it, learn from it, and don't repeat it again. Okay. September 27, 2020. I don't care how dark it looks for you. I don't care what they said to you. I don't care what the verdict said or even what the hate said. To you. It ain't over no matter what happens to you. And no such thing as over. Now, whatever you've been through or whatever it is, guess what? You're still here. Everything is going to be okay. You have a great life in front of you, but your great life is in front of you and not behind you. Pull yourself together and quit tripping because you are in the processing. God is processing you. God ain't through with you, because if he was through with you, you would not have woken up this morning. So he's rambling now because clearly his wife is about to divorce him. She's in the process of filing for divorce. September 26, 2020 is when he wrote the post to his daughter, Namaya, which is hard to even read it now after what he did to her. Then September 18, 2020, he said, leaving your comfort zone, that can be hard. Staying in the same place when you know you can do better. Sometimes that can be hard. Hold on a second. Trying to figure out how to make this scroll up. That can be hard too. Pick up your heart and do better. September 7, 2020, take care of her because life doesn't bless you with a good woman twice. September 7, 2020. So this is close to when she was about to file for divorce. August 22nd, 2020, let me encourage you to get up every day and focus on what you do have in life. Be thankful for the blessings of the little things, even when you don't get what you expect. August 12th, 2020, which is ironically my sister's birthday, it says the goal is marriage and mortgage, not relationship and rent. July 26th, this is my birthday, ironically. So weird, 2020. Wife her up, buy a house together, build a family with her, build your credit together, build your dreams together, open a business together, buy real estate together, chase the bag together, inspire each other, motivate one another, create generational wealth together. Teamwork makes the dream work. Hashtag God first, hashtag Black love, hashtag rich minded, hashtag wealthy, hashtag gifted. So something I wanted to say about this post, because this kind of is reminiscent to me of that Atlanta couple that there was just a murder suicide with them. And that's something I've noticed is like a lot of Black couples, I think, are now trying to have that power couple, goals, which is not a bad thing to have goals. But I feel like when people have goals, they kind of lose sight of what's important and they get kind of narrow-minded and tunnel vision. They just start to think that they are nothing if they aren't achieving a certain type of persona to the public eye. And you just have to, to me, you have to stop caring about what people think about you. As long as your family is happy, you're happy. That is what matters. You can still achieve your goals, but if your relationship's not working or whatever, and say you lose a job or you have to change, you have to pivot, and instead of having your job, you have to start a business to make money for your family because you lost your job or jobs are hard to come by or whatever, or it's not paying enough. You have to be open-minded to that change. You can't be so stuck on this image that you have to uphold to the public that you're going to kill because it's not going the way you planned, And that's just something I've noticed, is that this is another part that is attached to these tragedies is God, Christianity, Jesus this, Jesus that, a lot of that. Then you've got the marriage in there. So people want to have that power couple, hashtag Black love. And then you've got the whole, we've made it, they want to give the appearance of life they've made it. And it's weird because they were living with his mother-in-law. So I don't know if they were living there to save money or what, but it's like they didn't even have their own house. They weren't renting. So I don't know if she was helping them out. And if that was the case, it makes you wonder even more so why he would kill his mother-in-law. There just really isn't a reason why he should have killed his 4 children and his mother-in-law. I cannot think of one reason like why that would be the best option. Like that's just, you're killing children who are innocent. And one thing I do agree with Paris Milan that she said was that I do think that he killed the children because he didn't want to pay child support. And that was his feeble-minded way of getting out of paying child support, that one-track mind that he had. He couldn't see his life in any other way. He couldn't see his life not being married. Not, he basically did not want to not be giving this persona that he has on social media. So he has this persona on social media of like, I'm this God-fearing husband. I'm father of the year. I'm this great father. I'm just this God-fearing man who's doing great things for the community. And I have all these lofty goals. And when your wife is filing for divorce and you're living with your mother-in-law and your life is crashing down, like, then what? Then what do you do? Are you able to pick yourself back up? Are you able to pivot? Are you able to be open-minded and say, okay, so things aren't working out the way I want them to, but it's going to be okay. As long as I have my kids with me, that's all that matters. It's like he couldn't do that. He couldn't pivot. He couldn't change his mindset and still say, okay, I'm going to achieve my goals, but I just had to change this, and this. And this is what people don't talk about. This is the problem with what I'm seeing these days is Black people want this perfection, this idealism that doesn't really exist. It might exist for some people, but I really don't see it existing for anyone. Because everybody who seems like they have these perfect power couple marriages, the truth comes out in cheating, in beatings, in killings, in a plethora of things. I can name so many different quote unquote power couples that Black people are like, oh, those are relationship goals. Those are marriage goals. And then the truth comes out. Marriage is not a game. That's what I want to tell people. Like, enough with the fairy tales. Fairy tales don't exist. Marriage is not a game. Like, it's real work. And just like with everything else that Black people do, we basically idolize celebrities. We idolize reality TV, which is not even real. And we want to have those lives that those people on those shows have. They don't even have those lives. They don't even have them. Like, when they come out and they speak the truth, they're not even living those lives. So you have to take a step back and realistically look at what your goals are and can you really achieve them? See, the thing for me is whether I'm married or not, I make it clear I'm an alpha female, which my sister and I talked about this yesterday, which I know I am, and she is too. But I make it clear that I'm going to achieve my goals whether I'm married or not. So that when you are open-minded like that, you're not going to be like, oh my gosh, my marriage is about to end. I have to kill everyone because people are going to know my life is not perfect. Give me a break. For one, people don't think your life is perfect anyway. And if they do, screw them. I told my best friend, because when I was getting a divorce, I wasn't happy. She was like, oh no, don't get a divorce. I live through you guys and da-da-da. I'm not living for you. Like, now she's married. I'm happy for her. I'm like, please be married and do the work yourself. Don't be living vicariously through me while I'm doing all the hard work, because it's work. And if I say I'm not happy and I want to get out of it, I don't want people making me feel guilty like I got to stay in something I don't want to be in because you want to believe a fairy tale. So you have to have an open mind, be able to be flexible and adaptable and move accordingly. If your life isn't going in the direction that you think it should go, you can't make someone love you. You can't make someone stay married to you. And I don't know what it is about Black males and paying child support. I don't know if it's because he lost his job and was worried about that. Like, I really don't understand why killing your children was a better option than paying child support. Because majority of times, women don't even get that child support. And then the ones who do, it's not even enough to do really much of anything in that household. And you're telling me as a man, you can't keep a job enough to pay for your children, but you're a protector and a provider. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're quoting all this God scripture stuff. That's what your job is. That's what God says you're supposed to be doing. So if you're a protector and provider, you should be able to have an apartment or buy a home and still take care of your children who live in another house. Because they're better off with their mom. Clearly. Because people want to say, oh, that's what do you call it? People say, you know, that's a stereotype. But I'm like, well, in this case, it was true. Because dad, you see what he did. They're living with her mother. She clearly had a job. We don't even know if he was working. His license for one of his guns was canceled, expired, then canceled. So she clearly was bringing him money, and then he's the one that killed the children. She didn't kill him. She was trying to get divorced. She had a plan. She's living with her mother. Where was he going to go? And as a grown-ass man, he couldn't answer that, and that's why he did what he did. So, you guys, let me know what you think about this story. I just gave you guys some updated information that I found. This story is going to continue to unfold. There is so much to unwrap in these stories where you see these married Black couples who end in such dramatic tragedies. And I really just want to unpack it. We got to take the veil off. You know, I know people love the ideal of marriage, but we had to talk about doing the real work of being married, because anyone can get married, but can you stay married? That's really the question. And what does it take to stay married? What does it take to raise children and have a mortgage and have these dreams of thriving and building generational wealth? Like, these are real things, and they're not a game. And some people can't take the pressure. They can't handle it. They cannot take the pressure. And so they lash out in these tragic ways. And that's what we need to talk about. Why are people lashing out? Why are they cracking under pressure? Why aren't things working? Is it the man's fault? Is it the woman's fault? Whose fault is it? Because it's somebody's at fault here. So leave your comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Rest in peace to the victims. My heart is broken. I hate hearing about children being involved in situations like this. They have nothing to do with this. They're innocent souls, and this is heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking. Like, I just wish they weren't there or something. They just had nothing to do with this. And neither did the mother-in-law. I mean, no one deserved this. So my heart, prayers, and condolences go out to the mother and the daughter of these victims. And it's just sad. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll continue to have this conversation. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.